I never wanted to get married, never. I was that kind of a child because of the experiences I had with my parents' marriage. You know, I watched my dad beat my mom. I mean, it was something I had, that I had so much in my memory that I didn't look forward to ever getting married. I wanted to be, a tomboy. That's the truth. I didn't look forward to it. I didn't want to get into a relationship, have a matrimonial home. And some of you are like me today watching this video. You never want to get married because of the kind of marriage you saw or you're seeing with your parents. It may not even be your parents. It might even be your past relationship experiences, how bad it has been. It may also be the kind of marriages you see out there, people who are married, people that are getting divorced. As a matter of fact, even people who met themselves in church. And you're like, will I ever find a good partner? Will I ever find a good partner? Will I ever have a good marriage? Will I have a healthy marriage? I was there. I mean, I never knew what it was like to have your parents celebrate their marriage anniversary. I don't even know for how long my parents never had a healthy marriage before they finally went apart. It was tough for me. I never looked forward to my dad coming home. I didn't look forward to it. Never looked forward to, my dad coming back. I don't think I ever saw my parents hug, so it was a very difficult one growing up as a child. So, I got into school, I got into university, and I did not ever want to get into relationships. Some of you are like this. Many of us carry these childhood wounds into adulthood without even realizing it. I didn't know how much fear has gripped in my heart because of the experiences I had staying with my parents. I remember my mom also shared with me that, even though her parents were together, she never really, really enjoyed the savory, the sweetness that comes with a husband and wife staying together. She saw her parents quarrel, most of the time. So she wanted to really rush out of her home. And she rushed into the kind of home, she and my father created for us. And I realized from my experience that whatever you rush into, you definitely will rush out of. And that was my mom's experience. And it affected me growing up as a child, as well as my sisters, my siblings. One of the things I've come to realize in life is that once you don't heal, it will lead you into fear of commitment, attracting toxic relationship, and expecting the worst in marriage. If all you have seen is brokenness, it's hard to believe in wholeness. If all you have seen in life is brokenness, it is very difficult to believe in wholeness. Before you know it, your experiences makes you have fear of commitment. It makes you attract toxic relationships, and it makes you expect the worst in marriage. How can you, avoid all of these things? Or how can you, cure all of these things? Maybe you find yourself having fear of commitment like I did. Maybe you find yourself attracting toxic relationships because, listen, if all you have seen is brokenness, you have the tendency to attract toxic relationships. If you look at it, some of you have found yourself getting into relationships. You find yourself getting into relationships and they are with the wrong choices. Relationships that, doesn't make any sense. And before you know it, you are out of it. You jump into another one again and again, and you're wondering why. It's toxic. You find yourself being abused and you are still there. You see the relationship useful to you, even if you are abused. Why? Because of your childhood experiences, the traumatic experiences you have had growing up as a child. And then for some others too, they found themselves just expecting the worst. It's not married. I've seen a lady who told me, what's the big deal? As long as the man has money, I'm fine with it. The man can be beating me. And when I traced it, I realized that this lady's mom was being beaten by her father, and she just seen it as the norm. Sometimes what you are exposed to becomes your norm. What you're exposed to over time becomes your norm. And if care is not taken, if you don't deal with it, you will be dealt with. If you don't deal with it, you will accept those kind of dealings in your life and you'll be dealt with over time. So these are the things, and that is why this video, it's very important. If you're watching this video, you're dealing with childhood experiences from marriage, or dealing with past experiences from relationship, or other people's bad marital experiences, I can say to you for free that good marriages still exist. Just because there are few doesn't mean they're not available, they're not there. Just because they are not as many as you would think doesn't mean that they're not there. And my marriage is one of the healthy marriages, and a lot of others. How was I able to navigate this path? How was I able to have a change in my thinking that I am married today? Is number one, I deliberately began to read books on godly marriages. I had to. I got a number of books when I was beginning to, work on my mind. Because first of all, you have to make it a decision. You have to decide that you want a healthy marriage. You have to see that it is possible to have a healthy marriage. You have to see that it's possible to have a healthy relationship. It starts first from a decision. Two, it starts from you believing that these things are possible. I may not have had it in my past life or my past relationship experience or even your past marriage experience, but you can still have it. It's possible. As long as there's life and you believe in positivity, you can have a positive marriage. So I started by reading books on marriages, and I realized from books, authors who share their experience, I'm like, wow, a good marriage is very possible. A healthy marriage is possible. And I want to also put it out there that just because a marriage is good doesn't mean it's perfect. So you can have a marriage that has couples who are having weaknesses, but they are constantly making progress. Imperfection is not a lack of progress. There are people who are work in progress, not work in prison. So you have to decide that it's very possible to have a healthy marriage. So I started reading books on marriages. People were sharing their experiences. People who celebrate 33 years of marriage, 50 years of marriage, 60 years. I mean, they're still out there. And I'm like, this is very possible. And I started developing wisdom from these books. So whether you are male or female is not restricted to just the female gender in building the necessary wisdom to build a healthy marriage. Also, men, we need to read books on healthy marriage. Number two, I had to watch videos of couples who are thriving. There are a lot of couples who are doing well. I found them on social media. Yes, not everyone who posts good pictures are feigning it. There are people who are posting good, bright pictures out there, and they have good marriages. I had to start associating with those kind of people. I remember times in school, I had to deliberately travel to my friend's home that have their parents who are living together. They're not just living in the same house, they are united. And I started saying, the more I watched, the more my mindset started changing. And I told myself that, wow, good marriages are very possible. I see the way their parents hug. I see the way they talk to themselves. I see even when they have misunderstandings, how they resolve it. I see it. I mean, I remember one time I had a conversation with my friend's mom. I'm like, how did you get here? How? And I realized that their marriage, wasn't perfect, but they were making tremendous progress. Christian marriages. And I'm like, wow, I can have a Christian home. I can have a Christian marriage. I can have a Christian spouse. It starts with who you're associating with, your books, what you're watching, who you're making friends with. And then another thing I did was I surrounded myself deliberately with people that have a good perspective about marriage. Who you hang out with is who you become. And I realized that even on social media, what do you watch? Which blogs do you go to? Who do you follow? Who do you follow? There are people out there that post funny quotes about marriages. There are people that tell you, no, you can't have a good spouse. You just have sex and that's all. You don't need to bother about it. You can have child anyway. You don't need to be married. Who do you follow? Who do you follow? Because who you are following is what you are likely to become. So I had to deliberately look out for those kind of people who have a good perspective on marriage. There's so much Insta blogs will not do for you. There's so much girls gist will not do for you. Call it the different platforms that you follow. Are they having healthy perspective about marriage? Are they having healthy perspective about marriage? These are the things that if you're not deliberate about, you are going to build unhealthiness in your heart. And once it starts in your heart to flow and to become you, it's very important. As a man thinks in his heart, the man becomes. What you think is who you become. So first of all, you can become a divorcee even before you divorce. Is what you are thinking. I'm telling you, you can become a divorcee even before you divorce. Even before you choose the person, because it starts with your belief. What are you thinking? When your mindset is wrong, your choice will be wrong and the outcome will be wrong. So what are you thinking? What are you digesting? Who are you following? What are you digesting? What are they saying? When you have friends you're hanging out, what are they saying about marriage? Because it can pollute your mind or polish your mind. It depends on what you are listening to. It's very important. See, I want you to also know this. Your past does not have to dictate your future. My mom chose in the way she chose. She watched the things that she watched. She believed in what she believed. But it did not dictate who I got married to. Your past does not and will not dictate your future. You can be abused, doesn't mean you'll marry an abuser tomorrow. Your parents may have been abusive, doesn't mean you marry someone who is an abuser. So your past does not dictate your future. When you have the right belief, your choices will be right and the outcome will be right. So I want you to pause and ask yourself, what books are you reading? Who are you listening to? What marriages are you watching? Are you being intentional about renewing your mindsets? Are you being intentional about renewing your mindset? And also, what are your confessions? What are your confessions? What you confess, you manifest. So every time I will look at the mirror and say to myself, Anwinli, you will have a healthy marriage. Anwinli, you will marry right. Even when I had a breakup, I've shared it many times. A guy broke up with me. It was text. It was SMS. He broke up and said he doesn't want the relationship anymore. Even with the breakup I experienced, it didn't make my confessions change. Don't allow your past make your confessions change. Your past is not your future. Your past is not the reality you want to see. So be real with your confession so that you can have a positive reality. Be real with positive confessions so that you can have a positive reality. It is your responsibility. God is already a responsible Father, but it is your responsibility to think well, to confess rightly, to watch the right things, to follow the right people. And at the end of the day, you make the right choice and you will have the right marriage. I pray for you that God will heal your hearts. I pray that your heart will be open to the healings in God that can only be found in God. If you are struggling, if you're saying, oh, you don't understand, my experience was really bad, my relationship experience. So watching my parents, I'm scared. I don't think I will ever marry well. I come against that spirit of fear in the name of Jesus. I come against every hurt, everything, every way that has pulled you down one way or the other. Oh, for those that are struggling with abuse, you've been abused and you are hurting. Oh, someone took your virginity. Oh, somebody forcefully had sex with you and it feels like you cannot even find yourself. You're asking yourself, am I really? Am I? Will I ever be whole? There's wholeness in God. And I pray for you that Lord opens your heart to receive the wholeness in Him. I pray for you that God enables His healing to flow in your heart in the name of Jesus. I pray that you will boldly open your heart to choose that which is right in the name of Jesus. For those who have found themselves in toxic relationships, I want you to know that there will not be a repetition in the name of Jesus. God will give you the best spouse. God will give you the best spouse. God will give you the best spouse. Your marriage will be beautiful. You will look at it and say, wow, indeed, what a kind God. You will testify. You will testify. God bless you.